Welcome to the 2010 United Way Staff Summit. You know, we anticipated about 500 people for the Staff Summit. We set for 930 for lunch today, so thanks for being here.
There is no operation in this country more powerful than the United Way. Government is totally fragmented, county officials, state officials, local officials, federal officials, and yet we see across the country, for every problem, there is a program that's working. How does it get to scale? How does it become disruptive? How do we repurpose dollars? How do we produce social progress? The answers are there, and through the new mission of social innovators, such as the United Way and the other stories that we've identified in the book, I really think we can again reignite urban progress and community progress necessary for a safe and secure and prosperous country.
The most quintessential American quote I can think of in the last 10 years was spoken by a guy named Sully Sullenberger. He said two things. He said, "My airplane." A couple hundred people in the back. They're called souls, by the way, not just people. And when that situation was going south, he said, "My airplane," and he grabbed that yoke. And whatever's going to happen from that moment to the time he put it down in the Potomac or in the Hudson, he took full responsibility. And if we had that same sort of can-do mindset, if we had that same sort of perspective and said, my community, my kid, my, maybe not by blood, but by neighbor, if we had that same kind of thought process, we could do anything.
How do we make it about us? How do, in our differences, manage and create the inclusive environment that we all need, right, to be successful in the ways that we want to be?
I'm a soldier, I'm a soldier, I'm a soldier.
Talk to the community about what issues are most important to them in those areas and really create a strategic plan of action to make sure that it happens.
We're all working for a common goal, but sometimes we're not all working in the same way. And I think that the biggest thing we can do is start to work together in a more concise and clear manner and with a real strong direction.
Further involving our advocates and identifying additional advocates so that they understand the importance of the business that we do.
Put a strong stake in the ground and then be dogged in our pursuit of of those goals.
Start more of a grassroots approach from the field up to make it happen so that we all buy in, and I think that the potential is huge if we can do that.
I bring to my United Way the spirit of collaboration.
The ability to strategize.
To engage people.
The ability to pull people together who wouldn't normally want to be together and get them to work together and do good things.
To improve the engagement of our donors.
I am the community change agent.
Advocate for change.
Marketing mastermind.
Connector, convener, collaborator. 3 C's.
Willing to talk to anybody in the elevator, at a restaurant, in the bathroom, about United Way. I don't think that's that crazy, but that's what I do.
This is a country that was built by volunteers. Ben Franklin, you know, worked with volunteers to form the first library, the first fire company, the first hospital, the first university, and the first militia in the United States. So here we are over 200 years later, and you, all of you, are following Ben Franklin's lead in making our neighborhoods and our communities better than they have ever been before. You are the people that make the real difference in the lives and the communities all across this nation.
We are working in a historic time. I'll say it again. The 20-year period we're in, I believe, will judge how we left the world for the generations to come. We're United Way. We're the biggest nonprofit in the world. We have the best leadership in the world. We have relationships that nobody else has. We have the moral obligation to take this from a vision to concrete execution and scale. In fact, I think the world and history demands it. Thank you for being those leaders.
This is a new campaign, and we're making it real. Not just raising money, we're raising a spirit you can feel, and it's a must that we raise our voices to face this challenge and shake off the dust so that we can work together and live united.
What you don't understand is that the horse is out of the barn with the children in this school. They are not going to be satisfied with 4% gains. They all have in their heads that we are going to see 20 percentage points. So what you need to do for us is you need to bring us more resources. We need lesson plans, we need unit plans, we need examples of high quality teaching, because you cannot give a worksheet to a child in this school anymore. They will reject it out of hand. If you don't bring it every single day and it's on and popping in your classroom, the children will let you know.
Please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming the 2010 Spirit of America winner, Kellogg.
On behalf of all my colleagues at the Kellogg Company around the world, but particularly in the US, it's with deep gratitude and I must say great humility that I accept this award on their behalf.
The real magic is when you have people out there who are empowered and feel empowered on behalf of the cause to try and convince people to get involved. And again, I think that for all the wonder of technology, and so it makes, I think, the number of people we can reach and the different means of reaching them much easier, and that's all good. But remembering the basics of a human being talking to a human being is so very important. And that was something that was really not appreciated about our campaign at all, and still isn't, because we still have a big network out there. That's what won us the election. That's why we won, because millions of people on the ground were working their neighbors through the election, were a resource, could answer a question, get more information, would speak to the heart about why they were supporting the president. And that was far more important than even the presidential debates, the commentary, the punditry, our advertising.
And the up-to-date count is we have now 8 more confirmed. And let me tell you how well you do your work. 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans.
I said earlier in the week, and I'm, after these 5 or 6 days, I'm even more convinced. We know who we are. We know what works. We know it. I think the challenge for us right now is, will we go do it? Can we go from vision and concept to execution? You got to be courageous. You've got to be strategic, but it's got to be personal. It's got to be passionate. If you don't feel it in your gut, we won't go through the tough decisions we have to go through. We're in that point where we'll be defined by what we do as individuals, as the United Way movement, as a country, I believe. I'm confident that we can do this, or we wouldn't be here. But let's do what's necessary, be the leader that I know we are, to make a difference in the country and around the world. Thank you for being here this week. If you're staying in Washington, enjoy the weather. If you're traveling home, be safe. Thanks very much.